Okay, and I think we are live on Facebook. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us again. My name is Adriana Stewart, and I'm currently a junior political science and sports medicine double major studying at Howard University. And I have the pleasure of serving as PawPAC's social media intern. PawPAC is continuing our interview series with our endorsed candidates so that you all can get to know them. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing District 97 State Representative candidate Suzie Bell. Suzie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I am thrilled to be here.
And so we're going to jump right into the questions. So while we are aware of the fact that you are running for District 97's House Representative seat, can you tell us who you are outside of politics?
Well, I will tell you how I always introduce myself. I introduce myself as I am a mighty warrior for Christ, cleverly disguised as a wife, a mother, a friend, a granddaughter, a sister, and that's pretty much how I introduce myself. So I'm involved in a lot of things. Certainly not all politics, but very passionate, and I'm very passionate about my faith and living my faith out. So that's sort of the thing that drives me. That's the real foundation. The things that I do are is based on trying to live out my faith.
Of course. And you mentioned, you are very involved and you've been very active in your district for many years, serving as a speech language pathologist for 30 years. You founded the Eureka Christian Health Outreach and co-founded the Eureka Christian Health Outreach Village. Can you shine some light on how they've both made a positive impact on your community?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, 15 years ago, we just noticed that there were so many people that did not have access to health care. And and I'm not talking, these are people who are working and struggling. And some of them were my coworkers. I worked in the contracted with the schools, and so some of them were teachers' aides. So they were busy, but they could not afford a lot of things regarding their health care. So this was so we decided to start this clinic, and my husband is a physician, and we just saw a need and sought to fill it. The community was overwhelmingly supportive. They were amazing how much. Uh, I just can't say enough good things about the people in the area of Eureka Springs and Holiday Island. They were just so supportive. Every single doctor came and provided health care free. And to this day, we only have two volunteers. I mean, two paid staff, and the rest are all volunteers. So it has impacted the community in that they feel a sense of pride and caring. They have an opportunity to give back to people who uh, would not ordinarily have health care. Um, and as a result, I've got lots of stories, and I won't take the time up with that. But we have really, really made a difference in many, many, many people's lives, changed some lives, actually saved lives, certainly changed the trajectory of their life, all for the better. And then um, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, actually a little longer than that, we noticed that some of our patients were suffering from a lack of housing. And so we felt that that was a part of having comprehensive overall good health. Because if your mental health and you're anxious about where you're going to lay your head at night, then that's important to be able to provide them housing and stability. So we started a project called Echo Village. And so currently, right now, we have 10 lovely homes uh, and some beautiful residents who are living there, and with the plans to eventually build 26. We started on number 11. Almost 90% of it's volunteer. I can tell you I'm a good floor layer. I can sure lay floor, and I love firing off the nail gun. So I've learned a lot of skills along the way, but and then again, this has been a godsend because see, we have Eureka Springs has seasonal workers, and so they cannot come and afford these expensive rents. So this is plugging a hole, and then of course we do have those who are chronically housing insecure. Some of them who are homeless, and we are taking care of doing our best to try to fill that need. That need is really huge. I wish I could build 100 houses overnight, and I guarantee you I could fill them. So yes, our community has benefited, and then we have a reputation for being generous and kind, and that's a source of pride to the residents.
For sure. And it's great to see that you're out here and you're trying to fix the areas that need to be fixed and providing places of comfort for people and helping those in need. But how did you know it was time for you to run for a District 97 state representative House seat? Was there a specific moment, a person, or a thing?
Well, I was urged to jump in 2016, but at that time I was the caregiver for my mother, the sole caregiver, and she had Alzheimer's, and I just couldn't do it. I I I just could not. Um, she since has passed away, and that that it's almost like that left the opportunity to do that, and so I just feel her spirit pushing me on, and I know she's smiling up, you know, just proud, and so that really was the moment. Plus, I had just been more and more involved politically, alarmed at some of the things that I saw happening. Certainly was not happy to see the Affordable Health Care Act threatened, and I just felt like it was time for me to maybe try to do something more than what I could just do in my local community. And I had the time now since my mother has since gone.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And we are so sorry about the loss of your mother, but we do appreciate you going a little personal there and sharing that. But it's great to know that the, you are still able to do work and you're still able to function and pour into others, you know, while experiencing something that great of a magnitude. But your platform initiatives include healthcare for all Arkansans, affordable housing, District 97 education, a COVID-19 response, keeping Arkansas natural, and criminal justice and mental health. Can you discuss how you plan to enhance these areas within your district as state representative?
Yeah, and that's just for starters. Healthcare is huge to me. I'm passionate about healthcare. I believe very strongly that all Arkansans should have access to healthcare. Um, we are not a third world country. This is not a place where we should do without. And it just makes sense. When you take care of somebody on the front end, you are not going to end up having a critical problem later by neglecting it, say diabetes, for example, hypertension, whatever. So the current legislature has managed to set up a system where 180,000 Arkansans lost their health care, and 35,000 children in Arkansas do not have health care right now. because of the policies that have been put in place. They call it Arkansas Works. The Supreme Court threw that out as invalid. So now I want to go back. It's back to the drawing board. I want to see a Medicaid expansion. I want to see us do what we can do to ensure those children, we should not have any of our babies without health care, and to ensure that the other 180,000 people get the health care that they deserve. So I want to go back to the drawing board and work with, I will talk to anybody. It doesn't matter, and I'm willing to give if they're willing to give, but we've got to do something to fix this huge, huge gap. So that's healthcare. Housing, as I mentioned, is a big problem, but it's not just a problem in our area. You see, in my church, I'm the mission leader. So we go wherever there is a disaster, a natural disaster. For example, we've been to Katrina 8 times. When Joplin had the tornado, we're there. We're trained. We have the training that allows us to be responders. So the Arkansas River flooded, I want to say about 3-4 years ago. And a lot of houses were damaged. They couldn't find housing. Those people had to relocate. So what I'm seeing all over the state through my mission work is that there is a definite housing crisis, affordable housing crisis. So I would like to see communities duplicate what we have done up here. I would like to see some incentives given to communities to build some low-income housing and provide that, because when you put people to work and they're stable, I don't mean put them to work, I mean when you house them, then they will go to work, and then they will be stable and be contributing members of their community. So I would like to see an effort made to duplicate what we have done, and this will also create jobs for the area. So I think that we can do that, and we might even provide a tax incentive or something to the communities. We can get real creative. As far as education, especially in our area, having been a speech pathologist and contracted in the schools, I know how valuable the teachers are, and certainly COVID has shown that. They are critical, and our teachers are vastly underpaid, especially in Carroll County and Madison County, very much underpaid. Some to the point that they're actually considered poverty, in the poverty level. Now, what has happened is other areas in Northwest Arkansas have, they pay their teachers more. And when the teacher is getting ready to retire, they take an accumulation of their last 5 years of their salary. So of course, they want to bump that salary up. So usually our good teachers, right before they're ready to retire, they leave the area, move to Rogers, Fayetteville, get a job over there, which I don't blame them, but we're losing our good teachers. So we need to have a program to increase our teacher salaries so that it is commensurate with the surrounding area. We do not have we do not have mandatory pre-K, and we should do that. That is the thing that's going to give our children that head up and the advantage in their education. So that is definitely something that I would like to see done. Now, as far as COVID, I'm afraid is going to be here with us for a long time. And one thing that we can do is we can make sure that every health department, there's 70 county health units in Arkansas, that if they get a point of care analysis machine where they can test and get rapid results right then and there, this will be benefit to the entire state. So I want to see everybody have that. It shouldn't take that much money to do that. But you see, testing is critical because that is the thing that's going to help us control this COVID and that response. And like I said, I think we're going to be this thing is going to be with us for a long time. Now these rapid point of care analysis machines can also test for strep or flu and RSV, so that would be a benefit to everybody. As far as the environment, we need to offer some incentives to get people to do solar and wind. They need to, that again would also create jobs, but it's good for our environment for sure. I'm unhappy with that $200 surcharge that is put on electric cars. I think you should be rewarded for driving an environmentally good vehicle rather than punished for it. So I would love to see us take that away. I find that unjust. And let's see, the criminal justice and mental health. My husband volunteered at the county jail for a few years. And what he found was 80 to 90% of the inmates there were had mental health issues. They were individuals who were off of their medications and got in trouble legally. Now, our police officers are not social workers. They're not mental health workers, yet we're asking them to do that. There has to be a way that we can provide some expanded crisis intervention with social workers and maybe even nurse practitioners, caseworkers, mental health consultants, where we can take this off of our enforcement officers. You know, Washington County is trying to build a new jail. They're asking for millions and millions to get that thing built. We need to stop looking for ways to incarcerate more people, but how we can. We're more of a punitive kind of system where we like to punish, put you away, put you in jail. We should start looking at a lot of these folks who get in trouble as to how can we rehabilitate them, because oftentimes it's drugs or mental health. I think that there can be some very creative ways to do that. So that's just for a starter.
And those are some great initiatives and a lot of great starting points. But while we've touched on many different topics today, is there anything else you would like to add or speak on before we hop off?
Well, really, I'm a hard worker. I am not, there's no moss that grows on me. I am going to work my darndest, and I am willing to talk to anybody, reach across the aisle, because we're not getting anything done sitting in our corner and insisting that we're right. There's not anybody that holds all the great ideas. I certainly don't. I'm not an expert in any of this, but I am willing to talk to people who are. I am willing to listen to any good idea. And I truly believe that there's more good and we have more in common than we have our differences. So I'm willing to get up there and roll up my sleeves and get busy and start doing some good to help people rather than just fussing and bickering back and forth. And I really wish that we would stop with labeling and name calling and just just start coming together. Because I can tell you that with our work in our echo clinic, our medical clinic that we brought together every single church, um, every faith, and we don't all agree, theologically on in that. We've got people from all political walks of life, but what we have is we found a common ground. They are passionate about caring and loving, and so we created something that's been positive and wonderful for our community. We can do this. We can do this in the legislature, and I believe I'm going to be a very strong asset uh, to get up there and work.
Of course. Suzie, we would like to thank you again for taking the time to join us today to discuss key elements from your platform and allowing us to get to know who you are. I hope everyone watching has been motivated to vote come either October 19th or November 3rd. PAWPAC is wishing you the best on your campaign, and we're hoping to see a win following the election. And we really just hope that we get to see you in the seat. So thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you to
And we just,
PAWPAC. Can I say that? Thank you to
yes.
PAWPAC. They have been so supportive, so supportive. And yeah, we can't do this kind of thing without that strong support with the Democratic Party and PAWPAC. They're just wonderful.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for tuning in and with that, we'll go ahead and log off. So have a great evening and thank you so much.